Hello everybody! So how ready are your website URLs for SEO strategies? This is Stef from Samayas and welcome to my channel. So this video is part of a series of SEO strategies wherein we look first at the definition of what we can do and then dig in with .NET. So when we talk about web-based navigation, what do we actually mean? Well, it refers to using HTML text links like anchor tags for web navigation instead of relying on images, JavaScript and other technologies that search engines and a set of devices are struggling to interpret. Search engines, when they see an anchor, will of course try to follow each of them and index them. So now that you've previously seen how to build clean URLs, you should now use them correctly inside your menu items and other sections where you reference those URLs. Google recommends ensuring all critical context is readable via plain HTML links and avoid hiding those links in JavaScript, since the search bots won't find them since they don't parse the pages and/or the JavaScript. And so especially for single page applications, this can become an issue if it isn't handled properly. Of course, there are techniques to mitigate that. Screen readers and keyboard navigation tools also depend on those links, and they can also read aloud the inside of the link, so the text is also quite important. So always use real URLs in your href and never JavaScript. So now let's have a look at a good sample versus a bad. In the good sample, the anchor clearly has an href, which is site/product-catalog, and there's a label inside. In the bad anchor, we simply have a hashtag in the href element, and then it has an onClick element that calls a JavaScript function. Even though this is perfectly working in the browser, bots won't find the link. Next to finding something readable inside the anchor, it should also describe the action, or what the link is doing or going to. In menus, that might be more short. In other location, avoid using this, here, etc. and try to use something more specific and/or use natural languages. Now on the .NET front, there's nothing special here, since in general that's just client-side. Let's still have a look at the different scenarios. So, I have again created an ASP.NET Core MVC application, but technically I continued on my previous samples, wherein I already created my base view models and wherein I already split my layout in different subsections. And so my layout has my footer, which is separated. I have separated the headers, I've separated the link, the meta and the scripts. Now this is a sample to show how basic text is or is not working. And for that, I've modified the index and I have twice created a link to my home privacy page. And the first, as you can see, I go in my href directly to home privacy page. However, in the second, and I have a local reference to my page, and when clicking on the onClick, here I just do a Windows location href. So let's give it a little run. And so as you can see, a very basic page with a basic link. And if I float on top, already you can see in the bottom left that it references home privacy. If I go over the second page, well, it just references the page itself. It won't find it. Now, both links work. If I click on my JavaScript link, I end up in my home privacy. If I click on my basic text link, again, I end up in my home privacy. Now if I look at view source of the total result, well, here you clearly see that nothing has changed. And in the bottom, my script is injected. So this is a sample for the first link on how to do it, and for the second on how not to do it. One last remark. I define here a section script, where I just define my script in here. And in my layout page, I simply have a render section script, which is not required. Now, it's up to you to code the right solution that fits your need and have those basic anchor links. If you guys enjoy this content, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel and hit the bell sign. Or leave a comment down below.